Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. Nigerian Army announces commencement of third phase of the operation to eliminate banditry and insurgency in the northeast and northwest, tagged Harbin Kunama. Vice President Oshibajo inspects second Niger bridge, restates resolve of government to complete the project before the end of President Buhari's second tenure. EFCC arrests 37 people allegedly involved in internet fraud in Owerri, the Imo State capital, claims suspects were living lavishly on known means of livelihood. And at least 2 people killed as Cyclone Fani makes landfall in India, one of the most severe storms to hit the region in recent years. ChannelsTV.com has more information for you, and on youtube.com/channels where you can watch our videos. Watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android and iOS devices from their respective stores. Besides giving you access to news updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app have an eyewitness feature that you can use to share pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. To some of the stories that you sent in, we'll begin with this picture from Benue State showing the state of this road, which leads to Agla community in Ado local government area. It's almost impossible, especially when it rains. The Eyewitness wants the state government to help. Staying with bad roads is this image from Cross River State. Our Eyewitness reporter says the road was poorly constructed, hence the dilapidation in a very short period of time, leaving motorists at risk. He wants the state government to fix it. Our final photo tonight shows a fallen electricity pole behind a school off Farm Road, Rumodera in Obiakwa local government area in Rivers State. Our Eyewitness reporter says the lives of children are endangered and is calling on the agency responsible to take necessary action. Thank you for sending in those reports. We look forward to telling your stories of happenings around you. Former Nigerian head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, is said to be in stable condition after slumping during the burial of late General David Ejo in Uo Olomu community in Weli South local government area of Delta State. Following the incident, General Gowon was said to have been rushed by top military personnel at the event, accompanied by the Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa and former Delta State Governor James Ibori into a special tent where he was attended to. However, a military source who did not want to be named told Channels Television that the former head of state did not slump but was merely overwhelmed with emotion and had to be led away. The late General Ejo was a former chief of army staff when General Gowon was head of state. Let's get more news now on the news at 10. Here's Maokwe Ogun in our Abuja studio. Hi, Maokwe.
Hello, Amarachi. It's good to see you. The federal government is determined to ensure that occurrences of building collapse in the country is reduced to its barest minimum. This is what the Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Bunaya Onu, says, even as he received a report of the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Building Collapse in Nigeria. According to the minister, government remains concerned about the safety of all persons and cannot afford losing innocent lives through building collapse.
It is the official presentation of the Inter-Ministerial Committee's report on building collapse as the Minister of Science and Technology receives the committee, headed by the Acting Director General of the Nigeria Building and Road Research Institute. The chairman of the committee goes straight to the point as he reels out the committee's findings and recommendations.
All professionals in the construction industry preparing building designs must integrate geophysical survey data in their design. We are suggesting that geophysical investigation must be conducted before, and it should be part of a report so that design are not assumed on a value and the design will be inadequate, sir. Modification in terms of building should only be carried out by a team of building industrial professionals that were permissible by statute to do that. Someone will sit down a building that is supposed to be for a residential building, they will just convert it to be a school or something like that, we feel this should not be done. It's an illegal thing. Only government and approved bodies should do that.
After listening to the findings and recommendations, the Minister of Science and Technology commits to ensuring the implementation of the report.
I want to assure you that we will take these recommendations very seriously. The Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, we are committed to make this as a very important contribution to our nation to ensure that we bring to zero in the future the number of buildings that will ever collapse in our country.
The committee, which was inaugurated on the 26th of March 2019, was mandated to investigate the root causes of building collapse in the country, with specific reference to the recent cases at Ibadan in Oyo State and Lagos Island in Lagos State.
In other news, as Nigeria joins the rest of the world to commemorate World Press Freedom Day, the European Union ambassador to Nigeria, Ambassador Ketil Carlson, is reaffirming the EU's commitment to defending press and media freedom worldwide. At a conference in Abuja on the rule of law, media and violent extremism, the EU ambassador says the Union is supporting several projects to assist and protect journalists and human rights defenders across the globe. He adds that the European Commission is also implementing corporate social responsibility measures to ensure that European companies' technology exports are not used to unduly restrict freedom of expression. And still in commemoration of the World Press Freedom Day, the U.S. Consulate is calling attention to the need of a free press. In a bid to emphasize this need and address the various challenges faced by journalists in the performance of their duties, the Consulate today held a forum in Lagos for media practitioners. The keynote speaker at the event, Professor Jennifer Thomas, announced that the United Nations is making plans to combat crimes against the press.
The World Press Freedom Day is marked annually to celebrate the fundamental principles of press freedom, assess the state of press freedom throughout the world, and pay tribute to journalists who have lost their lives in the line of duty.
A great quote.
For this year's celebration, the U.S. Consulate brings together media practitioners and other stakeholders.
Of journalistic experience also too.
The Consulate's Public Affairs Officer, Mr. Russell Brooks, believes the media also has a role to play in the quest for a free press.
The most important element are the citizens themselves and their right to vote. And while that is true, for a citizen to exercise their vote in a responsible way, in an informed way, they need the media to provide them with the information, accurate information, that will allow them to do so.
Professor Jennifer Thomas of Howard University, where she teaches broadcast journalism, is a keynote speaker at this forum. She discusses how to detect and combat fake news.
My basic advice is always to be skeptical, to consider the source, to check the URL, to look at the byline, review the quotes, the authors of the quotes, review the photos, etc., etc. Be a curious journalist. Question everything.
She also highlights some measures that international organizations can deploy to ensure the safety of journalists.
International organizations like the UN and UNESCO and Reporters Without Borders, and there's so many others that are actually doing quite a bit right now. The conference that's taking place in Ethiopia this week in honor of World Press Freedom Day is looking at one of the major issues, and that's the safety of journalists around the world. So they're calling out for governments around the world to make sure that journalists who are doing their jobs are being protected.
Press freedom remains paramount to the way any society operates. And for journalists, the World Press Freedom Day presents an opportunity to remind them about their role in ensuring transparency and fairness, which will strengthen our democracy.
Away from activities marking Press Freedom Day, Traditional rulers in Nasarawa State have been tasked with the responsibility of bringing to an end the communal clashes bedeviling the state. Governor Tanko Almakura threw the challenge to the royal fathers while speaking at the installation of a new Emir of Lafia, retired Justice Sidi Mohammed, in the state capital. Justice Mohammed, a retired judge of the Supreme Court, succeeds Alhaji Mustafa Agwai, who died in January.
The people of Lafia in Nasarawa State have gathered in Lafia Square for the installation of a new emir. The last time something like this was witnessed was 45 years ago. In attendance are traditional rulers and members of the legal profession, including the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Tanko Mohammed. The arrival of the Nasarawa State Governor, Umar Tanko Almakura, signals the commencement of the ceremony.
So help me God. So help me God.
Retired Justice Sidi Mohammed takes his oath and receives his staff of office.
Today, they are coming face to face with history itself.
In his speech, Governor Almakura speaks on the rising spate of communal clashes in the state.
The unfortunate spike in the recent communal conflict in some areas of the state will be investigated, and any person, no matter how highly placed, who is found culpable will be dealt with in accordance with our extant laws.
The newly installed emir has a few words for young people in the state.
It is also pertinent to remind our young men and women that they have a significant role to play in improving the lot of our society, as we rely significantly on their strength and agility to make the headway. The 17th Emir
Justice Mohammed is also now the chairman of the Nasarawa State Council of Chiefs and bears the responsibility of maintaining a good relationship between the traditional rulers and the incoming governor in a manner that will perhaps stop the communal clashes in the state.
When the News at 10 returns, South African telecoms giant MTN appoints former CBN governor and Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, into its global board ahead of listing of its Nigerian subsidiary in July. That's on Business News. To join us again.